Hello and welcome to what I would consider is the better half of our London trip. After finding a routine and adapting to the rhythm of the city, my family and I began to explore what truly makes London so unique. Here's the fit for today. There's a really bad shadow. Got on my skirt and my top, and then this little bag from Realization Par, and my voice sounds really bad right now. We took the tube to Westminster, where we then got on a bus to St. Paul's Cathedral, a famous building situated within the central city of London. Following our visit to the cathedral, we made our way to the Buckingham Palace and the Wellington Barracks to see the changing of the guard. I had always read about the bearskins and the red uniforms in historical depictions of London, so getting to see them up close was quite surreal to me. We spent the remainder of the day promenading through St. James Park and seeing the prettiest views on the London Eye. We did also end up seeing the Tower of London and the Crown Jewels, but we were so hungry we had to go back and get ready for dinner. My family is very last minute when it comes to food options, so we ended up at this ramen place, which wasn't bad, but also wasn't my favorite. So of course we had to stop at a gelato place to end off our night on a good note. The beginning of the next day was super chaotic because the tube we usually took was delayed. Instead, we walked to Farringdon to take the Hammersmith line to Ladbroke Grove. It was probably the worst tube ride I've ever taken. It was really sweaty and cramped, but we still made it to Portobello Market at prime hours. Then met up with our cousin Kenna for a quick lunch at a locally owned Italian restaurant, and of course we had to order the truffle pizza. Still at Portobello Market. We've been here for like literally, yeah, we had a meal and then we're going back because I wanted this one dress, and then I didn't end up getting the dress because someone else bought it, sadly. I can wholeheartedly say that August 7th was my favorite day of this trip. We first made our way to Past Trash in Covent Garden, a vintage clothing store all organized by color. I tried on a ton of items, including this really pretty pink dress, and it was actually the most flattering dress I've ever seen. I do still think about it a lot, but I did buy some tops that I know I would reach for more in my closet than the dress, so I think I did make the best decision in the end. Our parents were still shopping, so Livy and I stopped for coffee and a cocktail, and people watched on a very busy intersection. Then we were on our way to do something I had been waiting to do since the day we planned our trip to London. I've been a Manchester City fan for so long, so this whole experience is something that I will never forget. Especially sitting in the sun for 90 minutes with a piece of paper on my head because it was so hot. We won! Yep. Back in South Bank, we had flat iron for dinner. We might have just chosen a bad day to go because the food was mediocre and the service was subpar. I would say it was just enough to keep me satisfied until the next day. On August 8th, we had reservations at Sketch in Mayfair, which was a recommendation from my friend Annie. All the decorations were super extravagant, yet sophisticated. I absolutely loved it. We were served afternoon tea at the gallery with live music to accompany our assortment of pastries and finger sandwiches. I've heard the bathrooms at Sketch were also super cool, so I had to go see it for myself before we left. The rest of the afternoon was spent shopping for souvenirs and different stores in Soho, and later we stopped for ramen to fill our empty stomachs before heading over to watch the sunset at the river. Our early morning flight was delayed, so we hung out at Spitalfields Market. I passed a little Greek restaurant on my way in, so I grabbed a quick bite there to eat. We then journeyed over to Brick Lane, a super trendy area with tons of vintage stores and graffiti walls. We discovered some steps that led to the Brick Lane Vintage Market, which was an underground area full of tons of independent traders. I would have purchased so many items if I just had the room in my suitcase to bring it back. I feel as if our visit here was cut short because we had to leave mid-afternoon to go catch our flight back to Chicago.